Hello everyone, the topic for today's presentation is management of midline diastema. The contents include introduction, type of common malocclusion, midline diastema and its management. So what is midline diastema? In the management of any malocclusion, orthodontist should plan out the treatment modality based on the thorough examination and sound diagnosis. No simple formula or approach is exist. Each case should be assessed and customized. There are some common malocclusion in the orthodontistry. These are the midline diastema, rotations, crowding and spacing. We will consider today midline diastema only. The term midline diastema refers to any spacing or gaps exist in midline of the dental arch. Maxillary midline diastema are one of the most common problem encountered. It has been defined as a space greater than 0.5 mm between proximal surfaces of adjacent teeth. It is easy to treat, but it is difficult to retain. The etiological factor for the midline diastema are the transient malocclusion, tooth material and arch length discrepancy, uneruptic mesiodens, abnormal frenal attachment, proclination, midline pathology, and it may be iatrogenic. The first factor is the transient malocclusion. Transient malocclusion like the stage of the ugly duckling stage, when the permanent canine is going to be erupt. When it is erupt, it pushes the lateral as well as the central incisor and the gap will be created. But this abnormality will be automatically corrected. So it is called as transient malocclusion. Next is the tooth material and arch length discrepancy. A disparity in which the arch length exceeds than the tooth material, it can result in the midline diastema. This includes conditions such as missing teeth, microdontia and macrognathia, or if there is any peg lateralis or any extraction in the arch, it will create the midline diastema. Abnormal frenal attachment is one of the another reason and the main reason for the midline diastema. Here the bulky fibrous tissue approaches in between two central incisors and it will create a space in between the central incisor. The pressure habit, like the thumb sucking habit, it will create the pressure over the central incisor, will result in the proclination of central and create the gap. The midline pathology, like if there is any trauma, any cyst or any abnormality is present in between the two central incisor. And there may be any iatrogenic cause, like we will do any rapid maxillary expansion, it will create the space in between the two central incisor. Like this is the case of the rapid maxillary expansion, it will create the space. This space will be automatically gone off after some time. So for the diagnosis, a proper history and clinical examination should be done. We will measure the mesodistal width of each and every teeth and combine them, and it should be determined that tooth material and arch length discrepancy. Blanch test can be done. Blanch test means in which we will lift the upper lip and pull it outward and look for the blanching of the soft tissue lingual to and between two central incisor. Any abnormal habit or any periapical radiograph, if there is any periapical radiolucency or cyst is present. Now how midline diastema can be managed? There are three phases to manage the midline diastema. The phase 1 include the removal of the cause. The first phase involve the removal of the etiology. Habit should be eliminated using the fixed or removable habit breaker. Diastema due to the ugly duckling stage, so in this we will not require any kind of treatment. Or if the diastema is due to the imperfect fusion of the midline, in this excision of included interdental tissue should be done in between the incisor. A flap is raised interdentally and fissure inserted gently into the cleft with the burr and included tissue are removed and flap is resutured. If the diastema is due to the microdontia and macrognathia, in this case we have to do some composite buildup or crown buildup should be done. Diastema can be due to the retained deciduous teeth or mesiodens, diastema due to the abnormal frenum, diastema due to the midline pathology or diastema due to the abnormal habit. It should be eliminated. Second phase is to use the removable or the fixed appliances. In removable appliances, we can use the finger spring or the splitted labial board that is made by the 0.7 mm hard stainless steel wire. Fixed appliances. In fixed appliances, we will incorporate the springs or elastics, bring about the most rapid correction of midline diastema. Like we can use the closed coil spring to close the space, we can use the elastic to close the space, we can use the E-chain to close the space, or we can use the M-shaped spring to close this space. Third phase is the retention. Midline diastema is a abnormality which is easy to treat but hard to retain. So most of the orthodontists recommended long-term retention using suitable retainer, since midline diastema is considered as easy to treat but it is difficult to retain. Prolonged retention is indicated in lingual bonded retainer. We can use the lingual bonded retainer. Retention can be achieved by the lingual bonded retainer, the bonded retainers and the Hollis retainer. This is the Hollis retainer. Other than this, we can use the wraparound retainer that is suitable according to the situation. Thank you so much.